So I'm glad I ran into this video because I literally just did a video with some conversation on some of the parallels of this conversation, and I was just having this talking about how if women would work together more and not be so defensive and so much offensive on men, everything would be a lot easier, because you'll find out that there's a lot that we could work together on that would benefit us all a lot more and have us all have a better lifestyle. And a lot of it is just re-evaluating your thought process on a lot of things that you used to do traditionally that people aren't doing traditionally anymore. I feel like it's ridiculous that people can't change their mindset on a productive way of dating, but they can do all of these other things that move throughout, society, and pick up on those things and copy those things and incorporate those things and talk about that they're open-minded, etc. But let's have this conversation, because this is exactly what I was talking about, and this is why the solution is working together versus being so against each other all the time.
They are bad choices. Okay? But we're going to hop into the video. Y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get into it.
This is my official application for a wife. I don't even know how to go ahead finding one, because this man just told me that he's living with a woman. They're splitting the bills 50-50. And then he's coming home to a cooked meal, a clean house, and she's basically like a project manager for his life. Like, she's helping him schedule appointments. She's helping him keep his life on track. And then I thought to myself, she's doing all of that, yeah, and helping you with the bills. And he said, yeah, why wouldn't she? We're going 50-50. And I just literally sat there and I was like, I need a wife. So this is my official application for a wife. In fact, we don't even have to do 50-50. I'm fine with going 80-20 and you do the house chores.
And so this is why this is crazy, right? So a lot of these same women that are saying that they exclusively want a wife, because their excuse is always that men are X amount of difficult, this and that, bad traits, pretty much the men that they pick and they lay with, right? So the whole thought process is that she wants to be in a relationship where you're mutually working to build something, right? So this is what a biblical polygynous relationship and a marriage would be. They even had younger women, and it wasn't always younger, but younger women a lot of times would be in the household and possibly be a potential wife for that husband, and or a sister wife to the woman, the other wife or whatever. And so what that would literally be splitting the chores, all of these things. And a lot of these women are still dealing with men, dealing with women, whatever you want to say, getting all these random people when they can just be in a stable relationship and they could be building towards this. And a lot of people are acting like they want to be alone, but why even do that when you could just be a part of a team? She's talking about 80-20 and stuff like that. I'm like, you could even do that with a lot of married couples now, because sometimes it's not that the couple doesn't want to engage in intimacy, it's that they both are too tired from life and they're not able to engage in intimacy. So if there was a way that you could even get with a couple that would keep you from having to really deal with the man. But that's why I said it's a lot better when you actually know how to choose men that have leadership qualities and stuff like that, so that you could actually get with a man that would lead and guide and all of these things. Because a lot of men are married to women that would rather have somebody that would like to split the burden with. And it's all about having an understanding and not working against each other and having jealousy and envy. Because as I said before, it's crazy, because a lot of women right now in the single world are dating the same men, sleeping with the same men, and they know they're dealing with other women. So why can't you do this in a righteous way? But as I said in my other video, I said it's really crazy because a lot of women will jump through hoops to submit to a man, and just for no reason, because they always try to put their ex on every guy that's living and breathing, or their exes or their baby daddies. And so this is why you have a negative stigma with this. But overall, women, I feel like women of quality would understand where I'm going with this polygynous talk, but this is the reason why the scripture says to go back to the old ways.
If anybody wants to, I promise you, I'm a nice person. You have full permission to go ahead and get your side piece.
See, she said, go get your side piece. So why not just be in a polygynous marriage? You could even do that where it could even be a real marriage, but if you don't really want to be that much intimate, that's one of the issues in a lot of modern marriages right now. So that would give the wife more flexibility to actually deal with her husband in that case, or y'all's husband, you see. So even somebody that feels like they're not going to want to be intimate all the time, and that's not their love language, but they want all of the other bonding and stuff, like, hey, can I just cuddle, like those type of people. This is why this type of marriage style works very well for lots of people.
And do whatever you need to do. I just need the domestic chores and your 20% every month. So who wants it?
I need a wife. Somebody straight. But
That's what a sister wife is. You see that? That's why I said it's crazy, because they're always going to exclude a man, but there's plenty of women who have already said, okay, I've been under leadership and guidance and partnership with this man, so why would you not, as a woman, be able to take the other woman's word for it and actually work towards a goal? And this is why I said a lot of this is women hating women, women competing with women. It has nothing to do with problems with men, because there are men that women will submit to. It's just they submit to the wrong ones, and then they blame everyone else for their choices.
I need another woman up in here helping me out because I am tired. I need a woman in here helping me multitask, thinking ahead, anticipating needs. I mean,
this is literally what your sister wives would do. Imagine having the same ability and flexibility as someone where everything is handled, taken care of. You can have somebody help watch your kids. You can help watch their kids. And as I said before, it lifts a burden from most people, because most people, if it's not childcare, like the cost, it's the having to watch their kids in general that a lot of times makes it hard for people to be able to make more money or be able to spend time together.
Real help. Now, I'm not dogging on husbands. I love my husband, but even on...
You see that? And I'm wondering, now that I see her head wrap, I'm wondering if she's, because man, I know I would love some help. I would really love some help, because man, like, I had someone that I was talking to, and she was amazing. I took her from a desk job in Kenya, and I had her be my assistant for a minute while we were talking, and I was getting to know her, and I helped her start her first Airbnb. Now it's like a year later, she's bought 7 Airbnbs, and I taught her friend photography, and now her friend is doing professional photography. So we mutually helped each other, developed each other, and our relationship benefited each other, and no one was left not having. And so if women would actually work more together, things could be so beautiful, because now it's like everybody has to work to try to stay afloat, and then you're trying to stay afloat, but then you can't move forward if you're trying to stay afloat, and that's what no one understands. And it's like a lot of people aren't understanding that sometimes you have to be uncomfortable to get to where you need to be, but a lot of what you're against makes no sense, because you're already doing it, and scripturally it's the prescription for your problems.
His best day, giving his best effort, it's still not enough. And single women, before you hop into my comp...
And this is the thing. This is why households are broken now. Men can't really spend time focusing on the scripture, focusing on their careers, focusing on the discipline of the children, being able to check in on them, being able to do all of these things, because now he has to a lot of times be split between that housework duties and stuff like that, because obviously a lot of men that are of quality, they're going to want to help around the house. But let's be real, if we're trying to be the most productive that we can to provide for our families, be able to beat the economy, bring the high rising prices and stuff. I'm in Atlanta, by the way, if anybody's looking. Las Vegas is on the map too. But yeah, like when you're trying to beat all of these things, all you're looking for is like-minded people. And you have to understand, it's like, if you can really be that woman where you're solid and you're an asset to that man, he's gonna really make sure that he brings you into the family, and everything works out at the end of the day. Because the main thing is, a lot of women say they won't do this and they won't do that, but they've put up with things that were not beneficial for them. So it's like one of those things where I'm just like, how long are we going to fight this, where we all end up drowning because we don't want to put the boards together so we can make a raft? It's like, it makes no sense.
And asking, why even have a husband? Please don't. Respectfully, you are looking from the outside in, and until you're
your husband is best utilized being able to be a man, being able to focus on what he needs to do so you can focus on what you need to do. And if that requires help, there you go. You're both progressing at a higher level. It's something that you can't do solo, both, because you can't be the help if you need help, and he can't get help if you need help.
married, you just don't understand, because God knows I did not understand this before I got married. So I am officially taking applications. My email's in the bio.
Serious question for my ladies. Do you guys need a wife? I really, more than anything, would love to have a wife. I was just talking to my friend, and we decided we would love to have a wife. Who needs a husband? I want a wife. I want the ability to just go to work and come home, and my home is clean, it looks nice, it smells nice, the pillows on the couch are plump.
And see, that's the thing that a lot of women don't understand, is when you want to fight the idea of polygyny, you forget that women bring certain aspects, traits, and skill sets that men can never develop. There's some women that are just like scientists, right? And they might not be the best at domestic duties and stuff, but they're still a woman, and they still, want intimacy, a man's touch, and things of that nature. And then, likewise, there are women that love just making the house, right? There's some women that just love cooking, cleaning, and at the end of the day, there's even some women that they just want to be in a situation where they just get intimacy in some sort of way. But the thing is everybody bringing something to the table, but then also being on the same page, understanding, and actually trying to build. Everybody is moving forward, and this is what a lot of people don't understand. You get that friendship, you get to have somebody that's in a similar situation with you, and they are in a situation with you, but now you have someone you can talk to, relate to, understands you, and that it actually has the best for you and your family. And so when you get to that type of lifestyle, you only can progress in a positive way, because right now we're all dealing with strangers, people with different creeds, lifestyles, decisions, all of these things, because we're forced to, because we don't have a community and we don't have what we require ourselves to be self-sufficient. But there's a lot of us that want to be self-sufficient, but we could do that together.
Dinner is cooking. I can smell it. It smells great. I get to sit down.
See, she's just thinking on this level, but imagine if she's also a lawyer, and you might have some issues that you need to work out. Let's say that she works on taxes, right? Let's say that she does hair, and you always need your hair done. And you just multiply that. how many different personalities and things of that nature, and when we're thinking on the positive thing, because a lot of people try to demonize it and think only on the negative. So let's talk about the positives. Let's say that everything in a perfect world, right? Let's say in a perfect world. So now you could have people that are your sisters that also have all of these other professional skill traits and stuff like that. You could even help find them. This is why it's crazy. It's like these are things that we could have been doing, but we're fighting against each other all the time. Let's say that you have a friend and you're both looking. You see that? That's why I said it makes no sense, and everybody's still dealing with all these random men that usually be the same men as well. So it makes no sense.
The table is made. My meal is put in front of me. I eat to my heart's content. I get up and, it gets cleared away, and I don't have to clean anything up, and I can go and putter around and do whatever I want, watch some TV. I can get into my comfy pajamas that smell nice and they're all clean and fresh because someone else has done the laundry. I can get into bed and the sheets are fresh and they're crisp and they're clean and they smell so good and it's cozy because someone else has taken care of that. And then when I wake up,
And the thing is, people act like you don't have to have, of course, more hands means more help, but you even one addition could make this possible. Like all of these people are saying, like literally one addition to the team can make all of this possible. Because literally think, even if you all went to work and you said, okay, well, we all have one thing we have to do to make sure that everything is set before we all go to bed. That's still better than having to do everything yourself, and that's if you're not tired or whatever. Because then it also could be a thing where it's like, hey, this week I handle everything, next week you handle everything. Now people don't understand how much of, when it's a mental burden and stress is being removed, it's amazing. It's bigger, and it's so much health that increases when you don't have those stresses on your life as well. Clarity, better work ethic, all of that. Being able to work out, being able to have personal time, all of that.
the next day, all I have to do is go to work, and I go into this bathroom that is clean. The shower is spotless. Everything is where it needs to be. I use a fresh, clean towel. I just leave it, and when I come home from work, it's not there, and it's rinse and repeat. I mean, ma'am, I need a wife.
This is crazy, y'all. This is crazy. I think it's almost like a mockery in the sense of what wives do, what certain wives do.
And the crazy part is too, if you heard a lot of them, they said straight woman. What a lot of women forget about these bonds is what keeps those bonds is actual intimacy. This is why when a man and a woman get together, they become one flesh, meaning one moving in one way, in one direction, right? And so that's why a man is supposed to treat each one of his wives as himself, meaning if you love yourself, all of this other stuff. So whenever people say, oh, he's gonna do all this abusive stuff, well, scripturally, they're not supposed to be doing all that. They're supposed to be following everything according to the scripture. So when you start breaking down somebody that actually knows the Bible, all these things, you're not dealing with somebody that's taking advantage of something like that. They're supposed to be doing this as a family. So it doesn't matter. It's like it's somebody that you care about, just like you have cousins. Like I said, we're talking about in a perfect world, and so these are good cousins, these are good relatives. It doesn't matter which cousin it is. If someone comes against them, you're going to want to defend them. If someone does something out of character, you're going to want to protect them. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same thing, but this time now you have other people on your team that are closer, and it's actually your family.
Every wife is not the same. Every wife doesn't have the same responsibilities. But it's interesting to hear women say this, but because we hear
and each person and wife has their own interests and strengths, and this is why a lot of times you can be a good woman but a terrible wife, because you don't do the things that a man needs for him to tick. And so he's still handling all the responsibilities, and yes, you're helping with some things, but there's no point in you being a husband and a wife if intimacy is not there. So if your reasoning is, oh, well, I'm too busy, well, then that means you're not being a wife, you're being just a woman or a mother. And this is cheating the man at the end of the day, because he doesn't get to say, well, I'm going to drop half of my load just to make sure I'm able to do these things, that especially if he didn't request it. And so a lot of people don't understand how that can chip at a relationship over years and years, days and days. Nights become disappointments, and then that turns into bigger things, you know.
Much of women talk about they don't need a man and they can do it all by themselves. So if you are financially stable as a woman, then you want to be the man. I said women want to be the.
And see, that's the crazy part too. There's a lot of women that feel lonely. They are financially stable, and it would be nothing against them to be able to now become part of a family where now you can still do what you want to do, but now you have people to spend that time with, spend that money with, because a lot of people are acting like everything is perfect, everything is a certain way, but at the end of the day, what's the point of being successful and all that stuff when you don't have someone genuinely accepting of it, and actually showing you that that acceptance that you want, that you only somebody that cares about you can really give you. Because the people's congratulations are really empty, because it's just like, hey, I'm just gonna say this, but you really don't feel like you earn your successes and your wins until you have somebody in your corner that cares.
Men. From what she just described, you want a house husband, or you want a woman to come in and clean. So are you want to take care of her financially? Do you want a roommate, but she doesn't have to pay? Because it's not, these are straight women. Y'all not, it's not an intimate.
And this is the thing. I don't know why people are so against this, having people in their circle, in their fellowship or whatever, that can lead them to faith, can lead them into something else, because they might not have as much money than you, but they might be rich in wisdom, knowledge, understanding, faith, care, love, all of these things. And it's like, I've said this before. I was like, in the 90s, everybody wasn't trying to be rich. Everybody was like, a lot of times they said, hey, I have a rich friend that did this, and you guys were just like, hey, that's cool. And you guys were like, okay, we're middle class or whatever like that, but hey, we're cool with and happy with what we have, and we have family, and we have real people around us and in our circle. And so it's crazy that most people are now, by default, people aren't valuable to them. People aren't genuine. They're not real. They're none of these things if you don't have money, or if they don't see you with money, they don't see you as valuable, and it messes everything up.
Thing. So are you going to take care of her fully? Financially take care of her bills and stuff and all her needs while she keeps your house clean?
Oh, and this is what I was going to say. So why do people wait until they're like 70 and 80 to do this? Because everybody's fine with being a sugar baby, being with an old man. And it's like, it makes no sense. You could be in a relationship with a man that's attractive, that you care about, that's actually moving in the faith that you want, that actually can give you children, and you can be fine with, and you can have a sister wife supporting you, and having that, and you could have an actual functioning family. But everybody wants to be selfish and do all of these weird things, and it's just like, they'll do everything but this. They'll date the same sex. They will fall in love with a robot. They will get homeless because they run out of options. They will be single for the rest of their life, all because they don't want to submit to a man, and they don't want to do polygyny. It just, I don't get it. And they'll try everything else. That's what I don't get. And then they'll have an excuse for it, and they'll say, hey, well, this is how it's going to turn out. Meanwhile, they've never had a successful thing to this date, so they can't be against something that they never really did or tried. And even if they have, it doesn't matter, because it wasn't with the right person. But regardless, if all of these ideas that you have about all of these other options and that you tried, so why are you not successful? So that's why I said it makes no sense.
Cook your meals and do all of that. Sound like these women want to be the man, the sole provider, like a man, and you want somebody, a woman, a wife, to come in and take care of the household responsibilities.
And see, that's the thing. There's some women that could be the fill-ins for a lot of those, and you could still be going out there and getting it, but at least you'll have people on your team that's ready to congratulate you and have the home ready for you and happy. And as I said before, you'll just have a very interesting lifestyle. It'll be very different and unique for a lot of people, but there's lots of people that live like this. It's just judgment coming from Western society, and ultimately people that don't want to see our community come together.
Isn't that something? Isn't that just interesting? I told y'all every single day, my mind is just boggled, because a lot of this stuff don't make any sense. It's like, it just got to be a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, now straight women want wives. Now you want a woman to come in and help you with everything, not a man. You rather, some of these women rather opt out of men, but you want a woman to come in and help you with the chores and everything else in the household. That's crazy. And then for women who are married to say, "Oh, you didn't know what marriage was going to be like." Yeah, I think none of us really knew what it was going to be like if we hadn't experienced it before.
And see, that's the thing. A lot of these women have feminist mentalities because they already have the man as an enemy, and it makes no sense even being a feminist and being interested in men because you hate men. Regardless, at the end of the day, you're working against men. Your whole thing is not to trust, not to submit, not to love unconditionally a man. So there is no point in you wasting your time. But for the women that are actually virtuous, so the scripture, it speaks against everything that's in feminism anyways, but for actual virtuous women, not only will they live a beautiful life, but the Most High supports her endeavors, the things that she puts with her hands, her relationships, and all this. And all he requires is what he tells you to do in scripture, which is to submit to your husband. And then he says he blesses him and he blesses the husband. And then he also says that the husband is blessed with a virtuous woman if he's a wife, a what's it, a pretty much a man of faith, a good man, a man that's of the Most High. And so what a lot of people don't get, they are the wicked woman that was given to the wicked man. I would pull up the scriptures, but I'm sorry, I'm kind of rushing right now. But yeah, this is why you need to look at yourself and see what things that you're following and what idols that you put in your life that's against scripture and that the scripture speaks against.
But everybody's marriage is not the same. Everybody don't have the same issues in their marriages. Everybody's marriage is not tumultuous. Everybody's marriage is not a problem. So I just wish women, because married women speak like that, and it makes other women think, "Oh my God, marriage is horrible," when they be going through horrible relationships with men and women, some of them, and that be a
And that's the thing. And if they are so right, why do they keep having failures? And at the end of the day, it's the people they pick. It's not everybody.
to a situation, they breaking up, you fight my cats and dogs. So it's not just a marriage, it's just relationships in general. But everybody's marriage and everybody's relationship is not toxic and horrible. Some people actually enjoy their relationships and their time with their person. Everybody's situation is not the same.
And a lot of times, as I said before, a lot of things aren't in balance because we aren't living the way that we're supposed to, and life was designed to be like. And this is why we have all of these imbalances. You have heavy workloads, so you're not able to be intimate, be able to spend time together, so you grow apart. And you have people claim that cheating's involved. All of these things, when if all of these needs were met in this one relationship, or as I said, this relationship style where everybody gets intimacy, everybody has an understanding, everybody's reading the same books, everybody's under the same head, everybody's submitting to the same person, that obviously, like I said, you should know how to submit to somebody that's worth submitting to. And when all of those things fall into place, all of those needs are met, and this is why scripture talks about it.
But I find it interesting. They're saying they want wives to come in and cook and clean and keep everything fresh while they go to work like the men. But when the men were saying, "Hey, we want to be the providers. This is our job. This is our role. We want wives to be at home to take care of the house and do all these things," they push back. They don't want that. Now y'all want a wife.
And you see that, and that's the crazy part. Literally, a lot of women will claim that they love their husband and love their household and stuff like that, but they will rather see it all fall to the wayside when there's plenty of women that would step up and help with the household.
They do it for y'all. I say we in some type of matrix. It just doesn't make any sense. They're going out working hard. They're the new men. Modern women are the new men. They want to work hard, pay the bills, but they still want somebody.
You can literally get somebody that does all of those things so you don't have to worry about it and have a more fulfilling life.
Not only they want somebody to come in and help pay the bills and help with the house chores. Because I'm like, listen, if you want somebody to come in and do all that, you can hire a maid service. You could hire to have a maid service or have somebody come in and
But see, the thing is, a maid will steal from you. A maid's not loyal. A maid's not going to work on other things with you. Somebody that's 24/7 on your team is actually there for helping you, helping your lifestyle, helping you spiritually, physically, mentally. And, that even has more people connecting in prayer, understanding, help, a support system, somebody to help you work out, somebody to help watch the kids, all of these things. And it's somebody that you can trust, and that doesn't have something that will take them away from the opportunity or the lifestyle that you have. Maids and things of that nature, they have their own lives. They don't submit to you. They don't have the same God or beliefs that you do, and they definitely don't love you, and they can't love you the same way that this other the biblical marriage could bring when it comes to love.
hire a maid. You can have somebody to be in your house every day. You can hire a chef. Y'all got it like that. somebody to cook your meals, have your house nice and tidy and clean.
Same
When you
with
come
the
home from work,
chef.
you can actually, that's a service that you can pay for. But I think in some of these situations, like, they want somebody to come in and help the financial load and everything else. They don't really want to handle it all by themselves, but they don't want a man. You don't want a man. You don't want a man to go half with a man. And then the first lady who was talking about her friend, he has a wife, well, whoever he is has a wife, and they go 50-50, but she still cooks and cleans. But there's other things I'm sure he provides for her as well, and maybe she doesn't mind doing those things. You don't know what their agreement is. She probably loves cooking, probably loves cleaning. She don't mind doing whatever she does and helping him out, helping her.
But the thing is, as I said before, like, even I know what she's talking about, but the whole point is to lighten the load. So there is no two people that can help lighten the load when the solution was to get with somebody or two people, that way, so that you wouldn't be alone and you'd be able to split the bills, split the duties. Because right now everybody's working to live, working to live, not living to work or living to live. It's crazy because, like I said before, I'm not going to, what they say, quote unquote, share. I'm not going to do all of these things, but you'd rather turn gray and hope that they have a retirement waiting for you, rather than just getting in a family style that not only the Bible prescribes, but that would free up a lot more of your time and opportunity and give you more of a support system, especially if you're somebody that is not close with your family.
Husband out, because there's other things that he provides beyond the financial aspect, but they don't ever want to talk about that. And then on top of that, that's her man. She probably want intimate time with him. Nobody want another woman that, if you ain't no lesbian, you don't want another woman in your house just because she can pay half the bills and you can't get no man.
And this is why I said it's your sister wife and not some random maid or butler or anything like this. And this is all because a lot of women don't want to submit to their man, and they say they love their sisters, they say they love women, they girls grow, all these things, but they can't get together to help build a family, build a man, build a lifestyle, build a community, because of all of these things where they're already sharing sexual partners, but now it's an issue. Like, all of these things where at the end of the day, it's just like, a lot of us men have stated that it's just women don't want to see, usually especially black men, but women don't want to see men ever in a good predicament. And so it's almost like they're programmed a lot of times to just pick whatever will be the downfall of men, even if it requires everybody's destruction. Because this is why they break up households and stuff, because they aren't happy, or because of what they call cheating, when they weren't being intimate with their husband, so their husband went and found it somewhere else. Because in a marriage, that's something that you're supposed to take care of, and it's never looked at as a duty for a woman. But for some reason, all of these things seem to be issues that come with being selfish. Because if you were selfless, you would understand that these things that if you really can't take a second, 5 minutes or something like that, then obviously you can't provide what you agreed to. And this can even hurt the husband, because this is what hurts his focus and his concentration. Because this is why the scripture says that you're supposed to have a wife, so that you don't fall into lust and things of that nature. Because now you won't be going to look for quick pleasures, because you aren't taken care of.
No husband that's blocking you from getting a man if you want one. And she's sitting there paying half. What man gonna want to come into that situation? You'll just be single, looking like you're a lesbian for the rest of your life. I'm just saying, if you're a straight heterosexual woman and you looking for,
and see, and that's the thing, it wouldn't even be, you wouldn't have to be looking for anything anymore, and it could be a permanent thing. Because a lot of times people separate because they get tired of each other. They have no mediator. It's two sides, so there is no balancing. There is nobody to help lighten the load, take off the pressure, all of these things. And all of these things have a solution.
Man, why'd you have a woman in there paying half of your bills, and cooking and cleaning and doing all this kind of stuff? That ain't gonna help you get a man. And you want a man, you're attracted to a man, you want physical intimacy with a man. You don't want a woman in there basically blocking that flow. Like, come on now, because I feel like that's what that would be. But I just find it interesting that women now, and I'm not surprised, because I've been said this actually. I said that women to turn to other women. You don't want the intimacy from a woman, but you want a woman to come and help you cook and clean and do all these things. So you need help some kind of way. Y'all let me know what y'all think of this, because I don't have any more words to say it.
And see, and this is why I said a lot of women they don't ever get that they're blocking their own blessings. Because if you supposedly love your, and it's crazy because a lot of women, they will do all of these things in a lustful way, or experiment and do all of these things, but when it comes to being able to have a stronger and more successful household, they won't do. And the crazy part is, it's not even the same elements, because the only relationship that you're having with the other women are as like a sister, and everybody else would submit to the husband. So that would elevate your husband in many ways, and it would enrich his life, which will enrich all your lives, and everybody's lives will be enriched, because now it's a movement of people. And so it just there's so many benefits. But that's what I have to say about that, because I was just having this conversation.